Hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Prog Review. Yeah, I think it's Prog Review. What we're doing today, we are talking about a record. It's a compilation. Oh, this is an interesting one. This is Brian Eno. Film music, 1976 to 2020. There you go. 67 minutes of music, including 7 previously unreleased tracks. 2 LP set on 180 gram vinyl, including a download theme, and it includes. We'll go through the tracks. We'll have a look at the artwork first. It gives little indicators of some of the films that the music's been in. It's kind of a collage of images from said movies, which is kind of nice bit of artwork. Yeah, I mean, I've had this for a while, and I didn't know if any of you would be interested, because you only like Pink Floyd, don't you? I say it so that maybe the algorithm will pick up that I've said Pink Floyd, and might get a few more extra hits. You never know. Oh no, I've gone and touched it. But yeah, you get the idea. There are records in here. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with it. Are you familiar with the Eno? Eno's been involved in film music for a long time, since 1976. It says so on the album sleeve. And I was thinking back, because in the summer when the missus was out with the kids, taking them to the in-laws, I had a... Wait a minute. I'll just make sure my download code's still in there, because sometimes these things... Yes, download code. Sometimes these things get lost because I don't take care of them. But yeah, in the summer when the kids were and the missus were at the in-laws for their summer holidays, I rewatched Jubilee on BFI player. Big fan of that film, and of course Eno provides some of the music for that. And then it struck me that. I've been listening to Eno before I'd even know what an Eno was, because I was a big fan of Derek Jarman. Because you watched Jubilee for all the nudity, didn't you? Really, as a kid? No, I was a big film fan, and whenever there was movie seasons on the television, I'd tune in and get my education. And Jarman's work was often featured on Channel 4 back in the day, and. So yeah, it struck me that I'd actually been subconsciously listening to Brian Eno's music before realising who he was and what he represented, and so I'd been brainwashed into being an Eno fan, and it tickled me. It indeed tickled me. And there are images on the sleeve, obviously from Jubilee, see, and whatnot. In fact, that sleeve is very Jubilee heavy. So yeah, what do you get on here? You get the theme. Opens with the theme from Top Boy, Ship in a Bottle from the Lovely Bones. Again, Lovely Bones. That's a film that's often overlooked. It's a Peter Jackson film. He who did Lord of the Rings, Blood Red from Francis Bacon's Arena, Under from Cool World. Cool World, another film that's oft forgotten. Gabriel Byrne, Brad Pitt. It was kind of on. I don't know if it was cashing in on Roger Rabbit, but it's one of those films where live action and animation kind of collide. Often forgotten. Again, one of Brad Pitt's early roles. Decline and Fall from Onome de Mort. Prophecy theme from June. Yeah, June. The first attempt at it. Not Jodorowsky's June, and not the June that's been delayed till next year, but Lynch's June. I do like that film. I do. Reasonable Question from We Are As Gods. Late Evening in Jersey from Heat. Michael Brooks on that soundtrack too, isn't he? Beach Sequence from Beyond the Clouds. You Don't Miss Your Water from Married to the Mob. Yep, there are a couple of tracks on here, Under and You Don't Miss Your Water, where Eno sings. Eno Sings, now that should be a compilation title. Deep Blue Day from Trainspotting, that's the infamous toilet scene. Sombra from Top Boy Series 2. Dover Beach from Jubilee. Designer's Reduction from Rams. The Rams soundtrack was recently released as a Record Store Day issue. I think I featured it in a video, not that anyone would care. Undersea Steps from Hammerhead. Final Sunset from Sebastian. I love that story. Jarman film again, loved that film. And Jarman got the first erect penis into a movie, right? Because the version he sent to the BBFC, British Board of Film Classification, was in a different aspect ratio. So you didn't see the penis, but the film on the big screen was the right aspect ratio. Lovely swinging member glides into view, and that's why I love Jarman. He was a subversive. And finally it ends with an ascent, ending an ascent from All Mankind to Daniel Lanois and Roger Eno's on that one, from Apollo, the Apollo soundtrack. So it's very much Eno's ambient greatest hits. And the funny thing is, normally I'd say, well, keep it in chronological order, make sure, or at least film chronological order. But they didn't do that. They actually collated the tracks here, and it works really well because the unfamiliar sit next to the familiar, and so you go through moments where you go, oh yeah, I'm not familiar with, and then you get hit with a track that and I thought it was really good how they did that. It's so you didn't have vast swathes of unknown material. I believe I think it worked really well in this instance, and it really was like an ambient greatest hits album, and because these tracks are so associated with their movies, like Trainspotting. Mind you, again, that was used. That was also used in a TV show called Mr. Rose Virgins. Minnie Driver and Kathy Burke starred in that, and it was directed by the people and produced by the people who did Trainspotting, funny enough, and Shallow Grave, who did the 2012 Olympic presentation, the opening ceremony. But yeah, I'm getting off topic, so I'm surprised that wasn't mentioned. But yeah, Mr. Rose Virgins, a cult TV show, quite remarkable. And I'm getting off topic again. I should be talking about music instead of television programs. But yeah, so like I say, some of these tracks are very synonymous with their movies, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, I again, my expectations were quite low because I'd heard. Obviously heard most of the material on here, and I owned it in various formats. So, but it was the way it was presented, and because it does take you down paths not visited before, and then back to the familiar. I don't know, it just had a really nice swing to it. It just felt really good and enjoyable. I actually enjoyed it. It was like, yeah, and the missus was listening to it with me. And at the end, she said, yeah, that was quite enjoyable. And yeah, it worked. It really worked. Again, if you've got, this is only for the diehards, if you've got all this stuff, you've probably heard all this stuff before. But again, if you're not necessarily, I think, again, if you're not into Eno's ambient side, if you're not into that the floaty, drifty stuff he does, then this is the ideal introduction, I think. I think this is the ideal introduction. It's like the gateway to ambient almost, because then at least you can, if you're not in the know, you can actually pin it onto the cultural references that you're familiar with the movies. You go, oh yeah, we saw that film, So there is a personal connection there. But yeah, I thought it seems like Eno is as he's getting older, he's taking stock on things and republishing. We've had the vinyl campaign for his albums. We've also had the reissue of. I'll show you. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, we've had the reissue of this. This is A Year with Swollen Appendices by Eno's Diary. A truly marvellous book. I got it at the time, and I read it, though. Looking at the print, it's very small, and it's a little bit bad because it used to be in my bag, because I used to read this on the tube when I was a gainful member of society, when I was in employment. I was useful not the loser bum that you see these days. And this was fascinating. When was it? Was it 95? I guess it'd be 95. Yeah, 95. Well, it says 96 in it, but I think the year is it covers the year 95. I think. But anyway, I'm getting off the point. They've reissued it. There's a lovely hardback. There you go. And the good thing is they've made the type a bit bigger. Not that you can see it. It's nice and big, so people like me can read it now again. And it's got an extra foreword. That's all you get with it. But there were two versions. There was the version that was just the plain, and then there was the one with the pink. The Appendices, which was, I think, wasn't that meant to be a limited edition? I don't know. I know I thought there were two versions of it. I might be completely wrong, but this was £9.99 back in the day, and I got this for, even though it says 20 quid, Amazon jobby for about 13 quid. So, if there's any burglars, they're getting this round the noggin. Bang! You beat them to death with Brian Eno's diary. Yeah, I think that works. But do check this out if you're an Eno head. This is really good fun. It's very funny and enlightening too. And you realise just what a driven. He's full of ideas, and that's what you need to be. You always need to be full of ideas. But I've got off topic because we was talking about his film music album, not music for films. That's a completely different record, but film music. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice, and again, it's something I can wholeheartedly recommend. But then I'm utterly biased because it's Brian Eno. But yeah, if you're not in that realm of ambient music, do check it out because I think it really does illustrate just how pervasive he's been all these years. He's been seeping into your subconsciousness, and you didn't even realise it. So there you go. I have been talking. Oh, in terms of rating, I'm feeling generous. I'm going to give this 5 shipping of bottles out of 5. That's 5 shipping of bottles out of 5. There you go. Lovely. I'll put a linky in to Amazon so you can get your copy. I really do recommend this one. Or if not, buy it for someone. Get it as a Christmas present. I thought it worked really well. And again, compilations sometimes can be a little bit. Sometimes don't work, the track listing, but this was I thought it was just in the zone. I thought, and like I said, it's such a low expectation of it. I suppose that's a good thing. That I was surprised it worked. I thought, I've got all that. But then sitting down and the way it all flowed, it was good. So anyway, thank you for watching. My name's Darren Locke. We're talking about Brian Eno's film music, 76 to 2020. I liked it, but then I would, because I'm a pretentious wanker. And with that, we will say, prog on!